Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or you're just happy to see me?
Hello, well, there is a reason I'm on time because I love Steph. But because I'm going to be by myself at least for a chunk of this stream and she did tell me that I could tell you guys that she's dumb. She forgot that she had promised another stream that she would be a guest on it. And that stream happened to start at the same time we were starting this one. So she told me just to go live. She'd jump in whenever she jumped off the other stream and I sent her the link. And here's what I said to her. I said, I hate Instagram because I'm just scrolling through the messages and it wants to turn on vanish mode. Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg. Says, no offense, Chica. I think they're fully aware of your inability to tell time. All right. That's what I said to her. I think they're fully aware of your inability to tell time. All right. Anyway, it's going to be just me, as I said, for the time being. I do have some things to talk about. One of which I told her, and I did tell her this. All right. And I'm also going to stress that our kind of deal whenever she and I do these streams is like for $50 super chats or equivalent in memberships, we will take shots. Okay. I want you to bear that in mind when you because I'm going to I might need some alcohol because I told her I'm going to react to the Wicked trailer. I have not watched it. I've fully held off on watching it. So that way, when I watched it on this stream, it was going to be my genuine, raw reaction to the trailer. She thinks I'm going to wreck it. I told her, how can I wreck it when I don't even know the plot from the Broadway musical? I never paid attention to Wicked and never bothered reading the book. I have no idea other than there is a trope that I'm kind of getting sick of, and that's sympathetic villains. I'm fully fine with villains that are so bad but you still love them, but I'm kind of getting over the sympathetic villains sort of situation and how basically the Wicked Witch of the West wasn't always bad. I'm going to fully admit that I'm kind of over that. I am kind of over that, and that's what I know essentially. What I know essentially is like the plot, essentially, for the most part. But I told her I can't wreck it. I can't wreck it because I have nothing to compare it to. So I can't say, oh, this sucks because this was better in the Broadway musical or whatever. So like I said, I'm going to kind of stress the fact that we do shots for those $50 super chats, and I might need some alcohol. I might also watch again the Rings of Power Season 2 trailer, only because there's an article that I want to cover, only because it doesn't exactly rip apart the trailer, but it kind of rips apart an aspect of the trailer that's getting a lot of people. What amazes me is that Amazon has allowed the comments to stay up for as long as they have. But basically, there's an aspect of the trailer that people have just been joking about. And I'll show that to you. Plus, another thing that Amazon has officially greenlit. All right, this is the same studio that's done Rings of Power. Rings of Power. That's officially greenlit the Tomb Raider TV series. Now, that's not exactly bad in and of itself, but the fact that it's being penned by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the same bitch, I don't know how she keeps getting work, who wrote the most recent, if you want to call it that, Indiana Jones films, Dial of Destiny. All right? Then, to kind of go into gaming aspect a little bit, yeah, this is going to be a TV show. Going into a little bit of the gaming aspect a little bit, apparently, and I know this has been going around on Twitter, that there's the new Assassin's Creed Shadows game, the new Assassin's Creed game coming out. Creed Shadows, and it basically has a black samurai and a female ninja, both of which would have never fucking happened back in feudal Japan. But a former Ubisoft contractor reveals there a rejected pitch for an actually historically accurate franchise entry. All right, so the quote is, "I guess they tossed all that out for Black Samurai." All right, so we're gonna kind of cover that a little bit. But apparently, according to this former Ubisoft contractor, that there was an actual historically accurate pitch for the Assassin's Creed games that was subjectively, basically denied, rejected, and tossed out purely for identity politics. Okay? Might cover a little bit of box office stuff pretty much because Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has been dethroned, and not exactly surprised at the movie that dethroned it, but at the same time I'm like, it's really sad. It's really sad that you have a movie that should be dominating the box office each weekend. I understand there would be a drop. There inevitably is. But the fact that it lost to this movie, you have to wonder. You have to wonder. But I'm going to react to the Wicked trailer first and get that done out of the way after I say hello to the chat. So like I said, you will get my raw reaction to it. All right? So from the top, I see Trey. Ready for the cringe? I got plenty of cringe for you. Retro. Retro. I got the gaming. I got the top. It just came like yesterday. So it came and it fits. I'm happy about that. I might try to wear it tomorrow if I stream some no, I almost said Assassin's Creed. I'm not playing that. Mass Effect. Hello, Gravy? How about them rangs? Yeah, Rangs of Power. Yes, I might play the trailer again. I might not, but there's an aspect that's been roasted. An aspect of the trailer that's been fully fucking roasted by the YouTube comments and so forth. Malty, hello. What are we talking about? Don't hold back. Don't worry. I'm not gonna hold back. I don't have a face tattoo. Triss, I cannot get over that picture. I saw it on Twitter. The fact that you made it your profile pic, I love you, but dear God. Abomination, hello. Phil TMNT, what is up? Yes, this is my Discord. I broke down and created a Discord not too long ago for watch parties, as well as when I play multiplayer games. For those who are part of my Discord, can join in and we can actually talk to each other. Because I kept getting yelled at by my chats that we want to be able to talk to you, but you don't have a Discord. So I was like, okay, fine. Broke down, created a Discord. Capinova, hello. Yes, you got it right this time, but hello, Capinova. Jimmy the Kaz, yeah, and yes, I'm on time, and that's because, again, I love Steph, but by myself, so I wasn't waiting for anyone. At least, not for a chunk of the stream, pretty much. Metalon, hello. Good to see you. Thought you got $500 so far. I better, like, you know, if I'm going to, I want to be only half joking about that. I only want to be half joking about that. Get your dang beer, yeah. Yep. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna give my honest opinion. All right, but I told her I can't wreck it because I can't compare it to anything. I haven't seen the Broadway play. They imply it's wasted. Yeah, I figured, but you know, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't done all the time. Yeah. Let's see. Making sure I don't miss anyone. I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah. I am a glutton for punishment. I said, yeah, maybe. If she destroyed Indiana Jones, and she had basically the Tomb Raider series greenlit by Amazon, the same studio behind Rings of Power. You know what? I can't entirely disagree with that. Node Punk, but welcome. Good to see you. She also helped with No Time to Die, and which became the perfect time to die. So yeah, like who at all would be excited for another James Bond movie after that? I'm just saying, who at all would be excited for another James Bond movie from current Hollywood after No Time to Die? Jennifer Bells, there's no way WB has ever touched a Tomb Raider game. No, but she was greenlit to pen the series. Is the same woman who's destroyed 2 franchises, 2 IPs. Anyway, Ms. Martin Muses, my cohort in crime and D&D. We play D&D today, and because I did not stream for the most part last week, I'll have 2 D&D stories to tell. Try to remember the one from last week. Cowman plays. In light of the Assassin's Creed Samurai game, I'm watching The Last Samurai. Who SJW, like the SJWs will say that's historically inaccurate because they think that Tom Cruise is the last samurai, and I'm like, no, he's not. If you actually watch the damn movie, he's not. Actually, I don't know how many of you in the chat listen to a metal group called Sabaton. All right, one of the bands I love. All right, basic metal. They did a song called Shiroyama. Very good, and it's basically depicts the last days of the samurai. Basically, it's kind of like they do a lot of historically based metal songs, and one of them is Shiroyama, which is the last days of the samurai. So that just made me think of that. So, but yeah, Shiroyama. Which would be more believable though, Black Samurai or Female Ninja? Neither one is. Neither one is, really. Of the 2, the more believable one, and it's a stretch when I say believable, would be the Female Ninja. And that's a stretch. That's a fucking stretch. But given the... Okay, I'm not implying that all Asians are racist, but given the racial superiority mindset in most Asian countries, they would not accept a black samurai. All right? They would not. They just would not. So, hello, Damaj Knight. Good to see you. Says, hey, pretty lady. Good to see you. Revenge of the Netherrealm. Hello. Good to see you. Dumb Assassin's Creed, yeah. Mike Hill, yep. I said it's I'm not it's sad. I'm not surprised necessarily, but it's sad. Oh yeah, I quote tweeted. This guy says, "I wish more people would give Rings of Power a chance," and I basically said, "You might as well say, I wish more people would give herpes a chance." Yeah, I know. Hey, Chris Mack, good to see you. Still not my Sauron, yeah, but we'll get into it. Sunny and Brave Megatron, member for 28 months. Thank you so much. He says, hey, Mawa, you miss me? I miss you, Megatron. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of figured. So, hey, Roxham, hello. And Last Samurai, yes, she's both the first and Last Samurai. Sabaton rules, love them, yeah. Yeah, so, but yeah, Sabaton. You have to narrow it down to which tweet because I piss off a lot of people. I do actually piss off a lot of people. And I was talking to Ms. Martin Muses and our DM Stieg after the D&D session today. And I was like, the only reason I would at all pay a subscription, monthly subscription to X to kind of get like the views and stuff on my Twitter is because I know inevitably I'm going to piss off all the SJWs and they're going to give me the hate clicks regardless of what I say. I don't clickbait, I don't rage bait, I don't do anything like that because I hate when people do that, but I know that I'm going to induce enough rage in these assholes that they're just going to give me view after view after view. So I figured that'd be the only incentive for me to actually get a subscription would be to basically profit off of these dickheads. I'm just saying, like, you know, like if you were they're gonna come at me and give me like so many views on my tweet and try to ratio me, I might as well profit off of them. I'm just saying. Monetize my haters. Again, I don't clickbait, I don't rage bait or anything like that, but I know that inevitably, no matter what I tweet, I'm going to induce some form of rage. Hell, I even I enraged the furries when I said that Godzilla wasn't when I like quote tweeted this fan art of Godzilla and Mothra kind of in human-esque furry form getting it on with Godzilla in a dress. And I'm like, Godzilla's not fucking trans. Full on fucking raged at me for a long time. I started streaming, yeah. So at some point, I think I seriously will break down and do it. But hello, you should do more Miles Morales tweets. Yeah, I'm full on. That would be rage bait. It would be true. It would be fucking true, but it would be rage bait. Oh yeah. Yeah, my black Batman. I said that Bruce Wayne is not black. And it's like if you really wanted to play a genuinely like a black character that was not race swapped, that we had not seen a depiction of on screen, John Stewart, Green Lantern John Stewart, an actual black character, like an actual character that people love, so forth. People were like, didn't matter how many times I proved that they were going with the Bruce Wayne Batman based on what James Gunn said a long time ago, pretty much that it's going to be Bruce Wayne. He's like, oh, he can still play this character. He can still play this character. But they claim to be DC fans. I'm like, you fuckheads. Like, they're going with Bruce Wayne. That's why I said Bruce Wayne's not black. Anyway. But anyway, I said I'm going to get the wicked reaction out of the way. All right. Honest reaction. I have my alcohol. All right. It is not your mom's root beer, essentially. Not your grandma's root beer. So I have my alcohol. I'm going to bring up the tweet with the trailer in it. Fair use, YouTube. Fair fucking use, YouTube. All right. I gave Universal Pictures fucking credit in the description. I gave Amazon Studios fucking credit in the description if I play the Rings of Power. Fair use. I'm just reacting. I even bookmarked the damn tweet. Okay. Take this back. Come on. What is this? Are people born wicked? Some people fucking are. But anyway, I'm going to react to this, so let me just share my screen. Hey, Psychotic Mongoose. Yeah, Cyborg, John Stewart, Vix. I'm like, they're actual black characters, but they want to take the sloppy seconds. It's like the Black Canary shit all over again. When people were pointing out that Black Canary is not black because, like, the name Black Canary, that she's a white blonde woman. But like these people are like, all of a sudden race is critical to a character for anyone that's non-white. But as soon as it's a white character, race doesn't matter. Like, like the original creator's intention does not fucking matter. If it's anything but a non-white character. No, I'm saying like in the Birds of Prey movie, and I say that it wasn't an actual Birds of Prey movie because like that's not Birds of Prey. Harley Quinn was never a part of it or anything like that, but they race swapped Black Canary, and pretty much the fucking reason was because the word black in the title, Black Canary, so they race swapped her. That was pretty much the reasoning, other than forced diversity. All right, chat. Genuine reaction. Okay, and I told Steph I told her she can rewind the stream back because she thought I was going to wreck it. And I said, I'm not going to wreck it. You can rewind it back and see my genuine reaction. And I told her, I have no doubt in my mind that my chat will fully throw me under the bus if I do wreck it. You guys, I love you, but you will do not try to deny that you wouldn't throw me under the bus if she asked. Probably get hit with the music parts, but we'll see. I might pause it every so often. But we'll see. Green Arrow fan, I hate the race swapping and Black Canary. Yeah. You would never. Anyway, let's see. All right.
Are people born wicked?
Some people fucking are. I watch enough true crime shows to tell you that yes, some people are. Like I said, I'm kind of over the sympathetic villain aspect. Like right off the bat, I'm like, yeah, they are. Some people are just born wicked. Some people are just born wicked.
Or do they have wickedness thrust upon them?
Okay. Is that kind of like is okay, is that okay, I'm not trying to wreck this trailer, but I have to ask. Is that their perverted-esque way of mimicking the line, some people are born great, some people have greatness thrust upon them, but asking it like as a question, like, are some people born wicked, or do some people have wickedness thrust upon them? Is that what they're doing? That's the feeling. That's what I'm getting from that, because they're like that quote. Some people are born great. Some people have greatness thrust upon them. I'm watching it, but I'm not fucking reviewing it. That's what I got from just that opening question. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm not even 7 seconds into this trailer, and I've paused it 2 times because I like that line. Moving on. This okay, it's turned up.
You're green.
I am.
Okay, I have not seen the original musical, so I don't know if that's okay. Burn that fucking hat. Anyway.
Welcome, new students, to Shiz University. Miss Alphaba, you can room with Miss Galinda.
Okay, Glinda, I know at least from The Wizard of Oz, is the Good Witch of the North. Because while in the movie we do not see the Witch of the South, it's North, South, East, and West. Glinda is the Good Witch of the North. And the witches of the East and West are wicked. Wicked Witch of the West, Wicked Witch of the East. Hey, Mr. Bentham. I don't know why she's in everything now. Hate what? See, the thing is, movie Metal Work McDonald is... I'm in partial agreement when I say, like, no hate watching. Because studios don't care why someone's watching whatever, the trailer, the movie, or the series, what have you. They don't care. They just look at the views. And as long as they're getting a lot of views, as long as they're getting a lot of people talking about it, that's all they fucking care. Because in their minds, any publicity is good publicity because it gets people talking. All right. But if you are going to hate watch, okay, because, and like, you know, like if you are going to hate watch a series, I don't like using that expression, but if you're going to watch a series that you know you're going to like, you know, rip apart, like for me, example, I'm watching Rings of Power, but through another means, So I'm not giving Amazon any clicks because I'm ripping that show apart. Do so. Sail the high seas. Pirate that shit. Like if you're going to hate watch, pirate it. I'm fully support that. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Darth Bald Mouse. If you're going to do that, for this movie, I'll be watching a special studio copy. That's all I'm going to say. I'll be watching a special studio copy because I am not planning at all on giving this movie any money. So, yeah, this is Universal Pictures. So yeah, they're still giving me views. Yeah, I'm saying it's like, whatever hate watching you're going to do, sail the high seas.
I know about popular. Oh, I saved you some space, by the way.
Do you really think this is fair?
I do not. I was promised a private suite. But thanks for asking.
Okay. Moving on. I have no... I'm going to be made to watch this.
Please, everyone take your seats.
Again, I'm over the sympathetic villain trope. I know that Wiki came out before this like trope really took off, as far from what I can remember. But I'm really over taking villains, like they're the villains of the story, and giving them a sympathetic backstory. And like, some people are just born bad. Barbie 2 feels like it's... I'm not going to sing. First off, I don't even know the songs, nor do I care to. Secondly, I'm not going to sing. Hey, why, Dave? Just some heroic stories, yeah. Like some people are just born bad. I just want an actual... there are villains that I actually love. Right? Because like they are good characters, but they're still villains. There's no sympathy to them. They're still villains, but I love them. Hannibal Lecter, I love that character. All right, he is full on sociopathic. Okay, like not only full on sociopathic, but he eats people. I love that character. I love Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of it. Michael Myers, Joker, hey Conroy, Freddy Krueger. I'm saying, like, there are characters. No. There are characters that they are villains. They are bad. But you still like them. Hans Gruber. All right, there was like a tweet going around saying, like, you know, name a an Alan Rickman role that's not fucking Harry Potter. Whatever. Hans Gruber. There you go. Villain. But Alan Rickman's performance is so iconic as that villain. He's so good that you can't help but love the character. Even though you're supposed to root against him, you can't help but love him. Pinhead. Jason Voorhees. Yes. You still love them. And yet Glinda sounds completely fucking unlikable. You're not supposed to hate her. You're supposed to like her because she helps Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. But you turn her into this. What? I'm just saying, what? And again, the musical kind of does this, so it's not just a movie. It's not just a movie. I think the musical does this. Like the musical story does this to Glinda. Okay.
In today's Oz, a real sorcerer who possesses true magic has become all too rare.
Okay, so they're gonna make her like. So she's naturally gifted, like incredibly naturally gifted. And Glinda is a ditz. They better not. Soul Assassin, they better not. So Glinda's a ditz. And Elsbeth, her name they gave her, is naturally gifted. Like an actually naturally gifted witch. I don't know, it's hard to tell because I did watch that trailer. And people were kind of implying that like Mufasa, like based on some wording in the trailer, that Mufasa like was adopted or something, and like Scar is the actual rightful heir, but Mufasa usurps him or something like that. Like people were claiming, but I watched the trailer and I was like, I'm not getting that. Yeah, I think the wording you could interpret it that way, but like at the same time, it's like it could be just the wording. It's like not exactly the best. But they're trying. Yes, Mr. Freeze is an actual sympathetic villain, but he's done right. He's still a villain, but he's a like he can't, like I'm saying, like that's not one done right. But this and other ones, like I'm not supposed to feel any sympathy for Michael Myers. Thank you, Rob Zombie. Yeah, Doc Ock, be sympathetic done right. When story, like there's actually good storytelling in movies.
Absolutely remarkable. That was you who made all that happen. How did you do it?
I don't know. I've never known.
You. Come with me.
Of course.
Not you. You. You're the one the wizard has been waiting for.
You know what, chat? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I started the stream with a headache. This is not helping. Hey, Revan. This is not helping.
Glinda?
Ew. I know. It's my granny's. I'd give it away, but I don't hate anyone that much.
Hey.
You should join us tonight. And don't tell me you have nothing to wear. Because you could wear this.
Okay, so not only they turn Glinda into a ditz, they turn her into a bitch. A ditz and a bitch. No, this is not SNL. This is the actual new Wicked movie that's coming out later this year. I'm like, not. I told her I'm not going to wreck it. I'm just saying that this is not helping my headache. So they turn Glinda not only into a ditz, but a bitch. Again, I cannot say that's accurate to the Broadway musical because I have not seen the Broadway musical, so I don't know if that's like the actual story. I'm just gleaning it from this trailer.
Something has changed within me.
She doesn't give a twink what anyone thinks.
Something.
What was that line in the recent Captain Marvel movie, Black Girl Magic? Black Girl Magic. Glinda is the good witch of the North. We're not supposed to hate Glinda. We're not supposed to hate Glinda. Because she's the one who arguably helps Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. We're not supposed to hate her. But this movie is making me dislike that character. I know nothing about Wicked either.
Is not the same.
Of course she does. She just pretends not to.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz summons you to the Emerald City. Come with me.
What?
To meet the wizard.
I couldn't possibly. This is your moment. I'm coming.
What the actual fuck is that? Hunger Games, yeah. What is that? Yeah, Glinda, I hate to be that person, but I believe the spelling is Glinda. Glinda, not Glenda, Glinda. But Ariana Grande is playing that character. But that's why I'm pronouncing it Glinda. When did he ditch the giant metal face for a hologram? I don't know. When AI was invented, I don't. This was like, what is that? Thank you. This is making the Oz great and powerful, which I did not like from Disney, a masterpiece. This is actually making that movie a masterpiece. I'm terrible. Okay, hold on. So he's already old, or is that one of the Emerald City people? Is that supposed to be the wizard? Or is that one of the Emerald City people? Emerald City? Okay, I'm suddenly looking at this going. Emerald City. I'm just saying, I'm looking at this going, if that's supposed to be the wizard, he shouldn't be this old right now. I'm not saying he should be like young, like James Franco fucking young, but I don't think he should be this old at this point where this story is supposedly taking place. He should not be this old. I'm just saying. But at the same fucking time, if people actually paid attention to the plot of Wizard of Oz, spoiler alert, chat, it's all a dream. There is no wizard. There is no Oz. It's implied it's all a dream because her head was hit her head on a twister. Yeah, in the OG movie. I'm just saying. Hey, Kay. Alternate reality, not actually a prequel. It's just...
Something bad is happening in Oz.
The best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good enemy.
What? Sometimes the best way to bring folks together is to give them a really good enemy, so basically unite them in hatred against one person. Isn't that kind of like mob mentality? That's I heard that line correctly, right, chats? It's like some of the ways like to unite people is to give them a good enemy. Like that, that's literally mob mentality. That is pretty much fear mongering. Martin, we're watching the Wicked trailer. I'm gonna take it back so I can listen to that line again.
Enemy.
Take it back.
Together is to get
God damn it.
the best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good enemy.
All right, so basically, it's going to be pretty much mob mentality against. All right. Yep, gotta justify the opposite archetype to undermine the masses. So literal propaganda. That's Jeff Goldblum. Yes. Hey, Jam. All right. 40 to 50 more seconds.
You have no real power.
So she finds out his secret. She finds out his secret. So the only way for this to even make sense is for it to be an alternate reality, as K. Roberts said, because it does not at all jive with the Wizard of Oz, because if the Wicked Witch of the West knows the wizard is not all great and all powerful, and like she knows that he has no power, then what was stopping her from raising the Emerald City to the ground? All right, pretty much in Wizard of Oz, I mean the movie, all right, so like, you know, I'd have to reread the actual book, the actual story, but in the movie from 1939, all she did was skywrite, all right, like she wanted Dorothy. Like, she wanted Dorothy because she wanted the ruby red slippers. The writer wrote a fan fiction, but at the same time, the fan fiction should actually jive with what came before it. So I'm not against necessarily fan fiction, but if you're going to write fan fiction that's supposed to connect to a work that's already in existence, it kind of has to jive. So what was stopping her from raising the Emerald City to the ground with her powers? There's no way that the wizard would have been able to do anything because he was a fraud. So yeah, why didn't she just expose him? Why didn't she had the mentality that like she did not, while she would mess with the people of Emerald City and things like that, she never really outright attacked Emerald City because she didn't want to risk it. Oh yeah, it'd be better to cast an actress who could actually sing and act. While she's powerful enough that she's an actual witch, she can fly on the broomstick, she controls the flying monkey. So what was stopping, and Oz, basically Oz, if you listen to the song in The Wizard of Oz, they only work they get up and start to work at 1 p.m., take an hour for lunch, and then at 2 we're done. So they don't work at all during the day. They're pretty much living a life of not exactly luxury, but basically laissez-faire kind of like life, pretty much. There's no real fighters amongst them. She could have taken, and she could have exposed. She could have taken Emerald City, and she could have exposed the wizard. She had more, obviously she had more power than the Wizard of Oz, because the Wizard of Oz is a fraud. I'm just saying. I understand it being fan fiction, but it's supposed to jive with the Wizard of Oz.
That's why I need you.
Don't let her get away! This wicked witch.
Okay, yep. Mob mentality. Mob mentality. Okay, so Juan. It looks like she has the hots for this guy. And is he gonna like ultimately reject her? And is that gonna kind of like push her over the proverbial edge? Because of what's going on?
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
Then again, the wizard who should be afraid of me. Then why didn't she take down the wizard? She's already exposed him. She's already figured out that he's a fraud. And if she were to at all to challenge him, I'm not saying at all, not necessarily like just in a physical fight, but just to challenge him, she would come out victorious because he couldn't do anything. He would be exposed as the fraud he is. Which is why it's kind of monumental when that revelation is made in Wizard of Oz, because Dorothy is under the impression that he is Oz the Great and Powerful and he can send her home, and he reveals to her that no, I'm just a schmuck from Kansas like you who got blown away by a twister while I was in a hot air balloon during and I ended up here. And because I came down from the sky, people exalted me pretty much. Again, I'm not wrecking it, because in order to wreck it, I would have to have something to compare it to. I have not watched the original musical. I have not read the books. So I cannot compare it to anything to wreck it. However, based on my knowledge of The Wizard of Oz, I read The Wizard of Oz, but it was years ago when I was a kid, so I'd have to reread the book. But you can't see the poster because it's up there in the corner. But I have a poster of the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, Dorothy, and the Scarecrow talking to the door guard outside of Emerald City. My favorite movie when I was younger, one of my favorite movies when I was really little, was the 1939 Wizard of Oz. All right, and I'm going off of that. And while I understand that this story is fan fiction, it still has to connect reasonably with what came before. So it has to connect. So if you're going to have the wizard already be there, all right, you can't, and it's supposed to take place before Dorothy finds her way to Oz. You can't have him be you can't have the revelation that he's a fraud happen, because it takes away from the revelation in Wizard of Oz. And the fact that they did that does not at all jive with Wizard of Oz. And it isn't the Wicked Witch of the West and the East, aren't they sisters? Thank you for the member message. I don't know if I said thank you for the super chat earlier. I think I did, but if I didn't, I apologize, because I was kind of No, I don't. But thank you for the member message. Okay, they're sisters. All right, they're sisters. I'm looking at this going, and they're both wicked. They're both wicked, essentially. So, yeah, I'm saying like that's why I'm like that's why I said it's revealed was all a dream because the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion were the farmhands that she interacted with on the farm. Basically, like their personalities were kind of reflected in the characters that she kind of created in her dream within Tin Man's Cowardly Lion and the Scarecrow. And the Wicked Witch was Miss Gulch. So basically, she took her dislike and her fear and hatred for Miss Gulch and made her the Wicked Witch of the West. The Wizard, all right, the Wizard was the traveling medicine man of sorts. I can't remember exactly what he was like. The great wonders. Like he was like kind of one of those. I don't want to call him a charlatan. He's like one of those traveling like that. And she made him the wizard, and had the revelation that he was a fraud because of kind of that aspect of his real life element that he's like he can't actually show you the wonders of the world or anything like that. Because like Dorothy asked him, will you show me all the crowned heads of Europe? And he's like, do you know them? Oh, and he's like, he's a charlatan in a way. He's a fraud. So it's that aspect of her real life that translates from her real life into that dream. And it's like kind of her dream telling her, because she wants somewhere over the rainbow, she wants it the grass is greener. She wants to get away from there, and she learns the lesson that sometimes what you're really looking for is right there in your own backyard. She says that, and that's what the dream does. It translates her feelings and her interactions with real people into a dreamlike scenario. And that's, like I said, that's why the reveal that the wizard is not a real wizard is crucial to that element. When it's when we find out it was a dream because of her subconscious. So the fact that they have that in this movie does not make any sense. So the Wicked Witch of the East doesn't exist in this universe, apparently. Through the Looking Glass, yeah. Glenn, I'm just saying, I'm looking at this going. Return to Oz, that was dark. Yeah. I'm reading this question, Dan, and I'm reading in it the implication you're making. And if I'm reading that right, I will hurt you. Just so you know. I will hurt you. Anyway, hey Calix, good to see you. Okay, that's the Wicked trailer. I got that done and out of the way. Okay, I got that done and out of the way. So, chat. How about we talk about Rings of Power stuff? Because I'm the one who primarily of us two, of myself and Steph, who has watched the first season and can really at all talk about Tolkien's Middle Earth. And let's just talk about this little article I found that's kind of roasting an aspect of the trailer. Right? I'm not afraid to use them. The only thing saving Dan is the fact that there's oceans, land masses separating us. Anyway, okay, so let's talk Rings of Power. Like I said, might play the trailer again, might not, but I wanted to share this article because I got a kick out of it. Oh, trust me, Dan, I know about long plane rides because I was in the military. I know about long plane rides. And I am fully fucking prepared to deal with that long plane ride. If it comes to that. Alright? And I know how to combat jet lag as a result. I know how long I have to be there to get over the jet lag. You know, people just pick the weirdest hills to die on. Anyway. Yeah. Yes, I was in the Air Force, so I am fully prepared for the long plane rides. So yeah. Anyway, I wanted to cover this because I got a kick out of it. Because it showed some of the comments from YouTube. Yeah, this guy is like, finally... I haven't read anything by this guy leading up to season 1 of Rings of Power. But I'm finding it funny that right off the bat, right? Like, there's like... I'm waiting for the spin to happen. But this is one of the first articles that came up right off the bat. Right off the bat. All right, so Rings of Power Season 2 walks into the same trap that made Season 1 so bad. All right. Yeah, it took him long enough. Yeah. I could space A. And for those who do not know what Space A is, Space A means space available. As a military veteran, I would basically have to find a flight leaving out of a military base or a military flight leaving from an airport, because that happens sometimes. And with my military credentials, as a veteran status, fly for free, so long as that plane is landing in the country I want to go to. It would end up being on a military base, essentially, but I could fly for free if I wanted to. How about this, Dan? I'll bring all my cosplay, and you choose which cosplay I wear when I'm beating you up. How about that? And I'll stream it. So I could either be beaten up by Ada Wong, Revy from Black Lagoon, Samus from... what else do I have? Zatanna. Yeah, you choose the one I wear while I beat you up, and I'll stream it. Anyway. But here. So, basically, at this point, they just need to add generic sitcom music to all Sauron scenes. Prime Video loves burning its money on ambitious TV shows. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Rings of Power, the extremely loose adaptation of Tolkien's iconic Lord of the Rings prequel, because they have no access to second age material, flopped tremendously with season 1. So I'm like just amazed that he actually admitted that. He admitted that. It flopped tremendously because only 37% of people actually bothered to finish the series. And yes, this is my Rhea Ripley goth-inspired look, but thank you. Thank you, Martin, for the super chat. You know what? I have a throne, and I do have some not Sailor Moon, but Sailor cosplays on it. I have Sailor Mars and Sailor Jupiter on it that, like, that people can contribute to, so I can get them. Maybe Raven, yeah. Yeah, but this is my kind of like Rhea Ripley inspired look. Anyway. So basically, I love how this guy's admitting full off that season 1 flopped tremendously. Like, he's like, there's no way they can hide it. They'll try to spin it, but there's no way they can hide it. So basically, he's saying that the only thing that kept the season mildly interesting was the who is Sauron, even though most of us Tolkien fans called it pretty much right away who Sauron was going to be because of our knowledge of Tolkien's world. Basically, spoiler alert, it was a human Hellbrand, all right? A completely made-up character for the series, right? There's no Hellbrand in Tolkien's canon. Nothing like that. All right? In Tolkien's canon. Because they only have the rights to the Lord of the Rings books, the Hobbit, and by extension from the Lord of the Rings books, the appendices that go with it. That's the only thing they really have the rights to. However, you have these shills on Twitter claiming that per the agreement Amazon has with the Tolkien estate, that they could pay piecemeal, meaning that they could pay per use of character name. Okay? Well, my question is, if they have always been able to do that, why didn't they right off the bat pay for the name Anatar so they could use the Anatar character? Right? So if people don't know who Anatar is, Anatar meaning Lord of Gifts, that was one of Sauron's disguises, especially when he was helping create the Rings of Power. Okay, he disguised himself as an elf, as a royal fuck you to Iluvatar, God, basically, because the elves are Iluvatar's children, right? The children of Iluvatar, children of God, made in his image. Okay, so basically Sauron, as a Maiar, as a spirit, is able to shapeshift, essentially, and morph into like something that does not look like his original form, and he did so as Anatar. Okay, the Lord of the Rings lesson for you guys. That's what he did. That's the name. All right. Okay. Now, here's where people were making fun of the trailer because they gave us Anatar, but it's the same damn actor. It's the same damn actor who already exposed himself as Sauron to Galadriel in name only in season 1. So basically, they took that actor and threw on a blonde wig and stuck some pointy ears on him. I'm saying this. We're like, look at this. This is what they're giving us. Same actor who's already revealed himself at the end of season 1, who got friend zoned by Galadriel in name only, cucked essentially. This is what we're getting. Yes, they're doing the same amount of episodes, 8 episodes. However, unlike the first season, when it was like they dropped the first 2 episodes in one go, this season they're dropping the first 3 episodes in one go. They're dropping the first 3 episodes in one go. Yeah, but overall the total is going to be the same as first season 1, 8 episodes. This is supposed to be Anatar. This is supposed to be Anatar. Here are some of the comments. Fans who also happen to be haters. Now, this one where I kind of like, want to say a little fuck you to the author, basically, but are howling in the comments section. Oh no, Halbrand is actually Sauron. Like the elves. Okay, this one I love. This one I love here. One wig to rule them all. One wig to hide them. One wig to fool them all. And now they cannot find him. So they basically threw on a fucking wig on this guy. And they're going to make they're going to have to basically make the elves dumb. They're going to have to dumb down the elves. Because like, where'd he go? It's like Halbrand like disappears, throws on a wig and some pointy ears. Like where did he go? Where did he go? Like elves, where did he go? Must have been the wind. But that's Anatar. I know they've already dumbed down the elves, but this would make them like borderline retarded. This would actually make them borderline retarded. Because, like I said, he revealed himself at the end of season 1. So Galadriel in name only knows what he looks like. So, but people, like I said, shills are claiming that Amazon Studios can use the name Anatar, but even then, you had the Screen Rant article asking, Well, can they? Like, I don't know where people are getting their fucking information from, because even Screen Rant is saying they're clearly adapting Anatar's story with or without the name. So basically, like, can they even use the name Anatar? And the answer to that, all right, is no, they cannot use the name Anatar because it's not mentioned in the appendices of The Lord of the Rings. And yes, I see this. Thank you so much, Michael. Thought you need this after Wicked and Rings of Power. Yes, I do. And I'll be talking Rings of Power, as I said. So I don't have pink. I finished the pink one. This is 21% alcohol by volume root beer. So thank you. Anyway. But like, thank you, Iron Mike. Still ain't here. Yeah, she still ain't here. So basically, like, if we're going by the deal we know Amazon Studios has with the Tolkien estate, they could not use the Anatar name, as I said, because, well, it's this. It's not like root beer. And it's like alcoholic root beer. So I did drink alcohol. Right? Just not straight alcohol. Right? Mm-hmm. So, but I say, knowing the deal we know, okay, they cannot use the name Anatar. However, you have the shills on Twitter claiming they can, because I pointed out they can't. Nor can they use actual First Age lore, because apparently, I guess they're going to show one of the original form while still in Valinor. Which they can't fucking do as a possibility, right? So this, like, according to Screen Rant, like, the speculation is they're going to use the Anatar storyline when he is in disguise and he's like deceiving the elves to create the Rings of Power, but not actual Anatar name. See, same actor, just shaved him, stuck a blonde wig on him. Like, it's just, so that's supposed to be, that's Sauron. Like, who could that be? I mean, they're already breaking they're breaking canon. They've broken canon. They're going to continue breaking canon because they have Isildur. They have Isildur in Mordor at the end of season 1 because he's presumed dead. When any Tolkien fan worth their weight knows that the Númenóreans didn't leave Númenor. The faithful didn't leave Númenor until close to the end of the Second Age. Closer to the end of the Second Age, because of Ar-Pharazôn being manipulated by Sauron to wage war, essentially, against the Valar, who are the Archangels under Ilúvatar. And that's when Gondor, one of the realms, is established. So Isildur would not, Elendil, his father, Isildur, all right, the son, would not have at all made their way to Middle-earth and to that region until close to the end of the Second Age. Yeah. So this is a guy. This is the equivalent. This is pretty much the equivalent of Kal-El putting glasses on and no one recognizing him as Superman, only recognizing him as Clark Kent. I love Superman. I do not mean to dumb him down that much, but this is the Rings of Power equivalent of that shit. It pretty much is. Yeah, he pretty much should have. But that's the equivalent. He's like, how do you do, fellow elves? I mean, I'm saying, like, because like he interacted, Hellbrand interacted with Galadriel in name only, Elrond in name only, and Celebrimbor in name only. So those three elves saw Hellbrand in his human form. So if they were to fucking see him as an elf, they'd be like, wait a fucking minute, you were human. At this point, now you're fucking what? They pretty much make the elves borderline retarded. But there it is. So if you want me to watch the trailer again, I will, but I would need another super chat for the shots. But I did do a reaction video to the trailer, and I did a reaction trailer breakdown on my channel. So something ain't right. Yeah. Hold up. So yeah, Rings of Power is official release date of August 29th. So in about little over 3 months. A little over 3 months now at this point. It'll be dropping. People can try to spin it as much as possible. There's no way it could be a flashback because it does not make sense at all with what came in season 1. So yeah, the master of foraging, literal craftsman who learned from the dwarves, who is the actual friend of the dwarves, right? Where he learned smithing, like basically to become a master smith, had to be taught the concept of alloys by a human. Technically, yes, but not on my channel. Not on my channel. This was like a while back when I was still kind of checked into Star Wars, and I would be on other people's channels talking the EU books, and we did the Thrawn trilogy. So technically I did, but it's not on my channel. Anyway, but if you want me to react to the trailer again, I would need another super chat for the shots. But that's the Rings. That's like, or the Rings trilogy stream. What do you mean, the movies, or the books? Because the books, that's a deep dive. Movies, maybe I'd have to do like a stream per movie. I'd have to do a stream per movie because one, they're long, and two, it would be fair because each one is based on a book, which technically, it's actually 6 books. It's actually 6 books because the publishers, because Tolkien, there's like a book 1 and a book 2 for Fellowship of the Ring. Same with Two Towers, and same with Return of the King. So technically it's 6 books, but when the publishers published the Lord of the Rings trilogy, they made it a trilogy by combining the first 2 books and so on. So it's 3 books and not 6, because they didn't want people to get bored with waiting for books to come out, so they stuck 2 together each time, so that way they could push them out quicker. And it capitalized on the love and popularity that people still had for The Hobbit. Yeah, I couldn't do. See, the thing is, I don't do trilogies for the 1s and 2s because of the fact that when you have a trilogy, like an obvious trilogy, there's a closure to the story, which is why I've been concentrating mainly on just franchise movies, essentially. And so I haven't talked about trilogies, because typically that's like, like it's one overarching story. The one exception I can think of right off the bat of my head is the Indiana Jones movies, because while it's the same character, it's not an overarching story. It's like different adventures he has per movie. So that's like one off the top of my head that I can say. Like that's just like a trilogy, technically, but no overarching story. Well, I just talked Rings of Power, and I reacted to the Wicked trailer. Okay, that's a dad joke. That's a dad joke. Yes, because there was a because you ask Tolkien fans, we'll be like, like there were changes made in the movies that we did not all entirely agree with, and one of the aspects of the books that was changed from the books to the movie was the Scouring of the Shire. Can't go into details like what that is, but that was completely removed from the end of Return of the King to give it a happy ending. Yeah, that's the thing. They're also out of order timeline-wise because Temple of Doom, timeline-wise, is the first one because it takes place in 1933. Then I believe you have Last Crusade. No, then you have Raiders. Then Last Crusade. I can't remember, but Doom, Temple of Doom is actually the first timeline-wise because it takes place in 1933. So. All right, as I was saying, I always mix up Raiders and Last Crusade. But I just remember Temple of Doom is the first one. HM stock. But anyway, so let's talk just a little bit of Amazon doubling down on stupid shit. Because who's looking forward to a greenlit Tomb Raider TV series penned by Phoebe Waller-Bridge? So the woman who's pretty much single-handedly destroyed 2 IPs in Indiana Jones and James Bond is penning the Tomb Raider TV series. Greenlit by Amazon. So basically, all right. So basically, Amazon has officially placed a series order for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny star Phoebe Waller-Bridge's previously announced as in development to live-action Tomb Raider treatments. Word of a series protagonist Laura Croft's return to live action was officially confirmed by head of Amazon MGM Studios. This fucking bitch behind Rings of Power shit, Jennifer Salk, joined the company's first official upfront presentation. All right. Taking the stage to reveal the news, she further detailed that not only was the series, as previously rumored, set to be penned by Waller-Bridge, but would also center specifically on longtime franchise protagonist Laura Croft rather than any side or original character. Yeah, because why focus on characters that haven't been developed when you can ruin one that already has? No, I didn't see that, and I'm not surprised. I believe it. I get that, but I'm saying timeline-wise, if you look at the years each movie takes place, technically in the timeline, it takes place before Raiders and Last Crusade. It's darker, if so, it follows the trilogy mindset where like the middle movie is typically the darker of the 3 movies. How the metaphor I use is like entering a tunnel where it starts light, ends up getting dark. The second movie is like you're full on right in the middle of the tunnel, so it's dark. And then the third movie is begins dark, goes to light because it's a happy ending. Sort of a story. So like, that's the metaphor I like to use. It's like entering a tunnel. But timeline-wise, it takes place in 1933. Yeah. Yeah, Globetrotting series, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, so asserted, "If I could tell my teenage self this was happening, I think she'd explode. Tomb Raider has been a huge part of my life, and I feel incredibly privileged to be bringing it to television with such passionate collaborators." I don't believe that for a fucking second. You're just full of optimism, aren't you, Dan? But hey, you'll go out with a smile on your face. So she's claiming Tomb Raider means a lot to her. So what? So what's she saying, that Indiana Jones and James Bond didn't? So she didn't care if she ruined them? Is that it? Yeah, so basically Amazon greenlit the Tomb Raider series. Word also circulated that she could also be involved in the potential movie. So basically it looks like Amazon's greenlit that. Greenlit TV series. So we'll see. But I don't believe that for a fucking second. I don't believe that for a second. So. Yeah, she was the voice. She was an annoying robot in the solo movie. The Solo, a Star Wars story. I'm like, real fucking creative there, Disney. So yeah. Let me close this Ring to Power thing in Amazon. We are now at nearly the hour and a half mark, and Steph still isn't here. But anyway, let's talk about the fact that Ubisoft had a potential, actually historically accurate storyline concept that they could have used for the new Assassin's Creed movie, and they subsequently threw it out for a black samurai and a female ninja. Yeah. Oh yeah, they gave like also in the movie that's we find out how Han Solo got his name, even though he had that name since birth. Anyway. But here, chat, according to this contractor, under Ubisoft, that basically following the trailer premiere, a contractor revealed that they had a pitch for an actually historically accurate entry in the franchise. An actual historically accurate franchise entry, but they tossed all that out for a black samurai, which would have never fucking happened. One account of one instance where there was maybe, it's like we believe this account, and a black samurai does not mean that it was at all an accepted practice. Does not at all mean it was an accepted practice. And even then, I believe that samurai was actually originally a slave. So, yes, too happy either. Nope, they're not, because it's basically they're taking their actual history and warping it with diversity, equity, and inclusion. It just played Ghost of Tsushima. Oh yeah, and also Ghost of Tsushima was complained by basically white saviors in the West, since it's because a studio developed it that wasn't entirely Asian. Meanwhile, you have it not only selling like hotcakes in Japan, but you also have the head developer of the Yakuza games praising Ghost of Tsushima because of how historically accurate and respectful it was. What a world we live in, right? When you actually respect history, when you actually respect culture, like not just complain about cultural appropriation, but you actually respect culture because it's not appropriating it when you're respecting it. Amazing, right, chat? Amazing what can fucking happen. Yeah, I'm saying he wasn't like it wasn't an actual like samurai. One fucking instance that I know of. It's like a Ronin, Rise of the Ronin, or something like that. I think that's the game you're thinking of. Revenge of the Netherrealm. Yeah, but so basically here's the concept. Basically, all right. So we're not going to go into the full article, but here's the concept. So I worked on some narrative elements for this Sengoku era of Japan for Assassin's Creed back in 2013, 2014 when I worked under contract in San Jose, Tokyo. I guess they tossed all that out for Black Samurai and some canon destroying Kunoichi boss. I'm so glad I'm not in the industry anymore. I guess it's only fitting that my contributions to these studios vanished like everything else I worked on. Every MMO shooter I ever have worked on has been shut down. Here's a brief synopsis of the original story from what I can remember. It's been a decade. Okay, so here's a brief synopsis of the story according to Infantile Chronicles. All right, Infinitale, I should say, Chronicles. Okay, this is the story that was pitched. The plot focused on the young monk, Yamauchi Yamauchi. I don't want to butcher this name, but Taka, as the playable ancestor. Taka means hawk to coincide with the then naming convention of every playable hero being named after a bird of prey. No idea if that changed with all of these newer disjointed games that no longer have Desmond as the core hero that bound everything together. The main conflict was about the Sword of Eden, aka Excalibur, Hanjo Masamune, Genghis Khan's sword, etc., and how it had given its latest wielder, Oda Nobunaga, an unfair advantage in his conquest of Japan. After Nobunaga is assassinated by Hattori Hanzo, Taka becomes a part of the Brotherhood and under Hanzo is trained as an assassin, shinobi. The Brotherhood try to transport the recovered sword out of Japan, but are beset by Jesuit Templar ships and it's lost. To make matters worse, Hanzo is assassinated as he considers retirement as a monk. His lord, Tokugawa Ieyasu, charges Taka with finding the killer and recovering the sword. Despite Nobunaga's successor, I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, and I see... Hello, Steph.
Hello, lover.
I see your comment in the private chat. Love you too.
Look, me and Mara love each other, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. I already reacted to the Wicked trailer. I did not wreck it. I did have comments on it, but my comments were based on my knowledge of the Wizard of Oz. So I'm like picking out what doesn't make sense.
Okay. Well, let me put your mind at ease. All right. Hold on. Where's it at? Here it is. It's actually all the way back here. Hang on. I'm gonna grab it. All right. Look. All right. This Wicked is not really. It's only based on the Wizard of Oz, like because it has characters. It's taking the characters from the Wizard of Oz. Okay. It's based on a different book by Gregory Maguire, who pays homage to L. Frank Baum, and who wrote the Wonderful Wizard of Oz through his main character Elphaba, LFB, L. Frank Baum, right? LFB, Elphaba, right? But this is fan fiction, okay? This is fan fiction. It's 100% fan fiction. It is very famous fan fiction, but it's not a prequel to the Wizard of Oz or anything like that. And that's what people think. It's a prequel. It's not. It's fan fiction. So the Broadway show is based on this book. which is fan fiction. And which is what the movie is based on. The movie is based on the Broadway show. The Broadway show is based on fan fiction. So it's not a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. It is purely from like this dude, Gregory Maguire's mind. He made up this story, and he's got like a few books from it. This was just the first one. But watching that trailer, like I love the Broadway show Wicked. I say it's loosely based on the book because the book is very progressive. It was written in the 90s. It's a very progressive book. It has it has a lot of political themes in it. It's got animal rights in there. We've got racism. You have discrimination in there. You have what do you call them? Terrorism in there. All of that's not in the show, right? They took the book and they took the characters from the book. The show itself on Broadway is based on friendships, right? It's a story about best friends. In the book, Elphaba and Glinda, they're bisexual, right? So the book is like this weird fucking story for mature readers only. It's literally like 18 and up. Whereas like the Broadway show, they needed something family friendly, so they came up with something different. But what I'm worried about with the movie, and I already kind of see aspects from the book in the movie, which is like they're going to take bits and pieces from the book because it kind of works towards their narrative, right? In this day and age, in the movie theater in Hollywood, and they're gonna put that in the show. And I'm kind of, or not in the show, in the movie. So like I kind of see that, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna like it. Me.
I have to be honest. I'm not gonna like it either. I haven't read the book, but I'm looking at the trailer. And
I know you're not gonna like it based on the trailer. That's why I'm gonna make you watch it.
Yes, we love each other, guys.
We do.
Yeah, so she makes me suffer out of love. She makes me suffer out of love.
I do. Look, I love musicals, and I just want Mara to share in my interest in musicals.
Okay, I don't hate musicals. I just don't watch them because there are movies that are musicals that I like.
Love means making your other half suffer.
Your other half suffer.
This is how me and Mara show that we love each other. We torture each other.
Okay, speaking of watching something for the other, have you watched The Nice Guys or Bullet Train yet?
I forgot. You need to text.
Okay.
Look, P brain. I forget what time our streams are every week.
Remember, chat? We said that one friend will have the memory of a goldfish, and another one will have like the best memory.
I'm the goldfish.
She's the goldfish.
I'm the goldfish. Yeah, tell me to watch it on Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday, I have a clean. Text me and be like, watch this movie, and I will go. Okay. Sit down and I will watch it for you.
Two movies. So you pick one if you only have time to watch one. But I'll remind you Wednesday morning of the two movies you need to watch
because I will watch it
because of like your developed appreciation for Ryan Gosling and your developed appreciation for how like Aaron Taylor Johnson played the character in The Fall Guy. So I'm just saying these two movies like you need to watch.
I will watch them for you.
All right. So
I would do anything for you, Mari. You know that.
And to be fair to me, these are movies I'm recommending to you that you won't suffer. In my opinion. But thank you, Drew Dat Games, for gifting 5 memberships to my channel. They went to Trey, Wiley Dave, Capanova, Retro Collective, aka Gaming or What, and Conroy 1776. Thank you so much, Drew Dat Games. So thank you. But anyway, I did the Wicked trailer reaction, and I talked some Rings of Power because I don't know if you watched the Rings of Power season 2 trailer, but do you remember? Well, you didn't watch the entire series, but do you remember the Hillbrand character, the human that Galadriel in name only are friends? Okay, I'll show you a picture of what he looks like in the trailer because they like.
Oh, I know he looks like long hair.
Yeah, they basically stuck a wig on him and like expect the elves to not recognize him.
Yeah, he looks like an elf now. Yeah.
Which is what he was supposed to look like all along, because that's the form Sauron takes when he manipulates tricks essentially into Celebrimbor into creating the Rings of Power. Or at least like I don't want to say tricks, but he helps Celebrimbor make the Rings of Power. But unbeknownst to Celebrimbor, Sauron uses the One Ring to bring them all under his power.
They roasted how he looked last season, so now they're making him look like he's supposed to look. That way they can be like, look, see, we're doing it right. See,
pretty much
we did it right, and you just had to let us cook.
It's the fucking smoke alarm is going off, and like, they have taken it out of the oven. Anyway, but like now I'm talking about real fast. I don't know if you saw the thing going around with the new Assassin's Creed game where they brought in the Black Samurai.
Oh, the Black Samurai, yeah.
But apparently, according to this contractor, there was an actually historically accurate pitch he gave to them about 10 years ago that they threw out.
They did. They threw it out. Yeah. You know what's interesting to me? It's interesting to me to see the Asian population, Japanese people react to this. That is what's interesting to me, because I've seen a lot of them say, like, I've never felt culturally appropriated. Now I know what or they've said, like, now I know what a cultural appropriation feels like. Like this, yeah, that they've said that. And I'm sorry, but the wokies online are like, what are you talking about? This guy really existed.
One fucking guy existed, and he was a servant.
Yeah. Well, are we sure about that, Mara? Because they are changing Wikipedia.
Yeah,
they're changing Wikipedia.
I'm sure the history books say he was a servant.
They're changing Wikipedia. Right? They keep changing the history to fit their narrative. That's what's so fucking sad about all of this, is that in all of the other Assassin's Creed games, and correct me if I'm wrong because I haven't played them, but I've listened to people talk about them. What I've gathered is that the main characters aren't actually real people. This is the first character that is pulled from like a real person in history.
As far as I know, they're not real people. I've never really played the Assassin's Creed games, but like the main characters you play are entirely fictional.
Right.
Like the elements around them might be historically quote unquote accurate or close to it, but the characters themselves never existed.
Okay. So that's what I've known. That's my understanding. And I feel like in order for them to be able to, get some woke brownie points, and they had to pull something from history. Someone over there Googled, was there ever a Black Samurai in history? Someone over at Ubisoft tried to Google it, be like, Black Samurai in history.
Yeah.
Right. And found one. So that way they had a reason to insert this, Black character as into their game as the main character.
Yeah,
they can say like, oh, well, he actually existed. It's like, oh, okay, now you're putting a character in there that actually existed. And what's funny to me is that people are saying, oh, he was an actual person. He was a samurai, right? He existed. And people are like, yeah, but he was like never a samurai. Where are you getting that from? That's not true, right? And then they'll be like, well, it's a video game. It's not supposed to be real. Is any of this real? It's like, okay, well, which argument are you standing on, right? If it's okay for you to have this character in there because he was an actual person who existed in history, so he's a real character and he can be in there. But also, like, it doesn't fucking matter because this game is all fake. Nothing is real, right? So it's like, which argument are you going to stand on?
They
Okay?
like to have their cake and eat it too, pretty much. Is the arguments, and when they'll move the goalposts. So when you point out the fact that that historically accurate character, and I use that term loosely, was never fully a samurai. He was just bestowed certain honors upon him because of his master, and it really only lasted for maybe a couple years until Japan kicked him out because they are extremely protective of the feudal system, pretty much, and they would have never allowed him to remain as a samurai within that country at all. Okay, so you want to go with that aspect, then accurately reflect that aspect of his character. But they don't want to. They want to argue that's purely fiction. Okay, then if it's purely fiction, then why are you using an actual historical figure that you Googled and Wikipedia'd, like to illustrate like diversity in history in your game?
What's fucking sad is that like a lot of people who are in favor of, you know, this person who's living in Japan, right? Usually it's somebody from that country, but whatever, who is the main character of that game. A lot of Japanese people are upset about it. We've been waiting for a long time. We've been wanting an Assassin's Creed set in Japan for the longest fucking time. And then they get this character, and a lot of Japanese people are upset because it's not a Japanese person, right? And
Yeah.
they're the ones being called racist. Well, you're racist. You're racist. No, you don't know what appropriating culture is. This is not appropriating culture. You have no idea. They're being told that they are wrong for being mad at this.
They're told they're being wrong for being upset at the blatant disregard for their own culture.
Yeah, they're told that they're being wrong, that they are wrong. You have the wrong opinion. Well, you must be racist. This isn't cultural appropriation. He actually lived there. He was an actual person living in Japan. And it's just like, okay.
But yeah, the Japanese don't know their own history.
Yeah, exactly. We need to teach you something. It's like, dude, they don't need to go to Wikipedia to go and look at their own history.
These same people accused Ghost of Tsushima of cultural appropriation mainly because the studio itself wasn't entirely Japanese. It was a Western studio who developed the Ghost of Tsushima game, and these SJWs who are defending this Assassin's Creed game were yelling to the high heavens about cultural appropriation within Ghost of Tsushima. Meanwhile, you have the Ghost of Tsushima game selling like off the shelves, pretty much popular in Japan, right? Japanese gamers were buying this game up, loving this game, praising this game, and also you have the game developer, the head game developer for the Yakuza games, which is basically, I don't know if anybody knows what the Yakuza is. It's basically the Japanese mafia, but the Yakuza games praising this game as well for how respectful it was of Japanese history. Is it fictionalized? Yeah, it's fucking entirely fictionalized because you're playing as one character who's taking on this Mongol army, pretty much, and saving Tsushima. That's it. But it didn't add any diversity, equity, and inclusion elements. It gave a Japanese character, right, that you played as. It honored Japanese history. It honored the culture. You know, the like Ronin elements, samurai elements. What does it mean to be a samurai? Do we have to basically stick to the old ways of being a samurai, or do we have to update with the new times? Sort of like question. Yeah. No, I've not watched that fan film, but hey, Brian. Yeah, they celebrated Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, pretty much. That was their argument. That was their argument because the game studio wasn't Asian. They couldn't develop Ghost of Tsushima. That's how it worked. But here's like the I don't know if you've read the actual account, but this is like an actual historically accurate account. And this is what it would have looked like basically here. Like an actual Japanese samurai or Assassin's Creed character. But Japanese. Actually Japanese. And actually take into account history. The island's history. Yeah, pretty much. So Ubisoft wants to DEI everything. Thank you for becoming a new member, Brian. Thank you so much. But anyway, so the last thing I have to talk about, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen, is did you know that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was dethroned from the #1 spot this past weekend?
Oh no, by who?
Well, you'll see. This movie. The If movie.
Oh, that came out this weekend. I wanted to watch that.
Yeah. I forgot it was coming out this weekend. I forgot it was coming out.
You want to watch it, Mara?
I'll watch it. This one I'd actually more willingly watch first before Wicked, but I'm watching both for you. But yes, I forgot this movie was coming out. I forgot this movie was coming out. And yes, again, happy birthday, Gravy. It came out on his birthday last Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So it dethroned Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. No, it's not Grimace. It's an imaginary. Basically, the premise of this If movie is that they're finding these imaginary characters and reuniting them with, I guess they were once kids or something. I don't know, but like basically the ones who created them in their imaginations.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's the premise of the movie. For If, but it dethroned Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. If wins the weekend domestically with an estimated $35 million. So all four of the box office's major newcomers managed to crack the top 10, which included The Strangers Chapter 1 with 12 million. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes lays claim still to the number 2 spot. So basically it dropped, but just to the number 2 spot. However, with word of mouth going around with I don't think it's been overly positive for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know if it's going to regain the number 1 spot. However, If took the number 1 spot.
What comes out next week? Garfield comes out next week, so it probably won't regain it. Yeah. It won't come. It won't regain that number 1 spot. It came out to a lukewarm reception.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think it'll. It was very lukewarm reception. I don't think that it will regain that number 1. Excuse me, that number 1 spot.
Like Ray says, it dropped 55%, which is actually not good, but not as bad as some other movies. However, with Garfield coming out, as you pointed out, next weekend, and this If movie, and the fact that it's Memorial Day weekend, I don't see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes hitting number 1 again. I see Garfield maybe taking the number 1 spot, with all the families taking the kids to see it.
Yeah,
not remind me of this fucking movie, Mike Hill. Do not remind me of the Furiosa movie. I want to forget her.
Let me see. Yeah, If came out next week. That's right. Next week is Furiosa and the Garfield movie. So I feel like if there's a date movie for people to go see, either one of those honestly could be date movies.
Honestly, I'd see Garfield. I would 100% see Garfield over Furiosa, even as a date.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. I think Furiosa is going to be embarrassed.
Yeah, because no one cares about the character. No real Mad Max fan cares about that character, because when they went to go see Fury Road, they were going to see it because they thought it was going to be a Mad Max movie. And it's basically a Furiosa movie disguised as a Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
So people were actually left pissed off.
So you have Furiosa and then the Garfield movie. I think the Garfield movie will probably hold for two good weekends. And then the following weekend after that, it's Bad Boys 4. So
yeah.
And then the weekend after that, Inside Out 2. So yeah, I don't think that Planet of the Apes is going to regain the number 1 spot. I don't think it will.
Here's did they show the roundup? Yeah, The Strangers at number 3. Back to Black, which is that the Amy Winehouse movie? Number 6. Blue Angels, which is more of a documentary than a movie, from what I can tell, number 9. Let's see. Fall Guys is still in the top 10 at number 4.
Wow.
And Challengers is Zendaya movies is number 5.
More people need to go see Fall Guy.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
If you're going to see a movie that's not any of the other ones in the top 10, see Fall Guy.
Yeah. What I'm interested in is when Inside Out 2 comes out, because 3 weeks out, or not. So Inside Out comes out, and then it has 2 weekends in between that, and then Despicable Me 4 comes out. So I'm wondering, yeah. I'm wondering how much money they're going to make, right? In comparison. So we have a Disney movie in June and a Universal movie in what do you call it? In July.
Yeah.
when I look at this, I think, okay, Disney, you got 3 weeks to make some money because Despicable Me's coming out, and I feel like that's gonna blow them out of the water.
Yeah, they're going to make money quick, and arguably it's a sequel to a movie that was well received. So I see it doing initially well, but I would wait to see what the drop off is after that.
Yeah. What's funny is that it's the 4th movie. I really want to see if Despicable Me 4, the 4th movie, well, technically it's like the 5th one, right? Because then we have like, no, the 6th one. The 6th one, because we have the Rise of Gru and then the Minions movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like the 6th movie in this whole Minions little movie package or whatever. This,
the Grooverse or the Minionverse.
Yeah, the Minionverse, the 6th movie of the Minionverse. I'm interested to see if it'll take Disney out. If people will take their kids to go see Despicable Me 4 and it'll make more money than Disney. I'm really interested to see that because it's the 6th movie in like the Minionverse.
I would think that it would give Disney a run for its proverbial money because of the fact that those movies, the Despicable Me movies, are still reasonably well received. So, like, even with the 4th one, there's still the possibility that the 4th one could even overtake Inside Out 2, because no one's really clamoring for an Inside Out 2. No one's really clamoring for a Despicable Me 4, but at the same time,
it's about.
I know, but at the same time, it's like
going through puberty. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, why do I want to take my kid to see this girl going through puberty? It's such a weird thing. Like, you know what they should have done? Like, just blow past puberty, right? Just blow past puberty. Maybe like let Riley, I don't know, go to prom or something.
Yeah.
Right? Go through her emotions, graduating high school or something like that. And going to I don't know, but like her going through puberty, dude, that is so weird. Like, can't you do what I think they want to do with these Inside Out movies is make another Toy Story movie, right? These kids grew up with Andy, with his toys, okay? And Andy went off to college, Toy Story 3, the perfect ending. They should have never done Toy Story 4, okay? Toy Story 3, Andy goes off to college, perfect ending, round of applause. We grew up with Andy and his toys, and it was such a great trilogy. I think that's what they're trying to recreate with these Inside Out movies, but it's not working. Like, it's not going to work because this next movie deals with Riley going through puberty. We didn't have to see that with Andy. All of that happened off screen somewhere.
Yeah,
right. Andy was just a little boy. And then in the 3rd movie, he was an adult. That just happened. We didn't have to see that. But here, we're going to have to go through all of that with Riley, and that's just odd.
That's exactly what I want to relive, is all that shit I went through when I was going through that stage in my life. I want to be reminded of that shit in kids movie form. Thank you, Disney. Yeah, but yeah, so like I said, I kind of see, at the very least, Despicable Me 4 giving Disney a run for its money, because Despicable Me 4 is not a movie that like seems to be pushing anything like that. It's just a 4th chapter in the Gru-centric part of the storyline. That when he adopts the 3 girls, and then finally gets married and all that.
Yeah, it's the natural progression of things, right?
Yeah.
You have this man, and he becomes a father, and then in the next movie, what happens in the second one?
Well, the second movie is he's brought back and to be a spy.
And he gets a wife in the next movie, right? And then in the 3rd movie, he meets up with his brother.
Yes,
so
the brother he didn't know existed, and now this one,
they have like
a child together,
a baby. Okay, so it's like kind of like the natural progression of things, and it's a cute movie. The only thing that I wish they would have done with those movies is aged up the girl characters, his 3 daughters. That's the only thing I wish they would have done. Just age up the kids. It's okay. You can age them up. They could still be cute.
I mean, the 3rd one is young enough that if you aged her up a little bit, she'd still be like young and quirky.
Yeah.
Even
just
the second
make her
daughter,
like a Luna Lovegood character, right? She's still adorable. She's just a little quirky.
Yeah.
That's
there it is.
that's the only criticism that I give is that, you know, you can tell like a few years have gone by because I mean they're having this baby and he's already born or whatever, but the girls aren't older. They haven't aged them up. That's the only thing that I criticize about those movies.
Yeah, well, at least for the fourth movie. Like the third movie, I could argue that it's like relatively within that close amount of time that okay, they probably would not have aged that much. So I could still see them like looking like they do. But when you have the fact that it's been looks like at least 2 years between the events of the third movie and the fourth movie, because the baby looks at least 1 year old, so you add 9 months to that, and it's like in a span of like about 2 years, maybe a little bit more. And you have Margot still looking like she's the same age as she was as the oldest in the first movie, and the same with the other two girls.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite make sense when you have that progression of timeline, at least from the third to the fourth one.
Yeah. That's what I love. That's one thing that I absolutely loved about How to Train Your Dragon. That's why I love those films, because they aged up all of the characters throughout each movie. They aged them up. They matured, you know, throughout those movies. I love those movies. They're so great.
And thank you for reminding us of Turning Red, Mr. Bentham, for $2 super chat. But yeah, like
Turning Red was another period movie. It's so weird.
I don't know what there is.
Oh,
but
I'm getting upset.
Yeah, the stream is coming up on the 2-hour mark. So that's really what I had to cover. So I watched the Wicked trailer. I talked Rings of Power because I broke that trailer down, and I love the fact that it's getting roasted even in the YouTube comment section because they put a wig on Hellbrand and said, "Hey, look, it's Anatar."
I like I like that meme where they put House of the Dragon poster next to the Hellbrand poster, and they're like, when the teacher, when you ask like, "Can I copy your homework?" Sure, just don't let it look the same. Have you seen that meme?
I haven't seen that meme, no. But there was
like they copied House of the Dragon because their posters were so good. Like, yeah, copy your homework. Just change it a little bit so no one will notice.
Someone in the YouTube comment. I'm surprised that they kept the YouTube. Hold on, chat. I want to like go on YouTube side because I want to see. You might hear the trailer start for a second, but I want to see where the Rings of Power trailer stands as far as likes and dislikes. Let's see if it'll show. Okay, chat. It is at 89,000 likes. Who wants to guess how many dislikes it has? It's 89,000 likes.
300. Ooh, more than that.
More dislikes. What? 350? No, higher.
440.
A little higher.
460.
A little higher.
500.
A little lower.
470. 480.
Little higher.
492. 489.
485,000 dislikes.
Damn.
So basically over 5 times is a over 5 to 1 ratio of dislikes to likes. Over 5 to 1 ratio of dislikes to likes.
Popular.
Sold to the lady in the ball cabin. So yeah, it's at a 485k dislikes as of this stream. So almost 500,000 dislikes.
You know what? I don't even feel bad for them. They deserve it.
Oh yeah, they totally do. Especially when they claimed season 2 is going to be more canonical, and then I'm like, they pull like this head, like someone shared that like they were going to like full on break canon in like one regard in season 2, and I'm like, so that was a fucking lie.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. So I don't feel sorry for them at all.
I don't feel sorry for them at all.
But anyway, that is the Talk Nerdy stream, ladies and gentlemen. And next week, it should be on her channel.
Mine. Yes.
So she gets to pick the topics for next week to talk about. 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. time frame. So it depends on when basically we're done with whatever shit we need to do that day, pretty much. But yes. So before I say goodbye to the chat and do my outro, Steph, let everybody, since you didn't really do an intro, let everybody know where they can find you.
Yes.
And all that
next
fun
week
stuff.
it is on my channel. So come find me on my channel, My Nerdy Home, Instagram, Kick, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
And yes,
Find
so
me
thank you,
there.
chat, for hanging out for the Talk Nerdy stream. Tomorrow I should be live on my Kick, going back to playing some of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I finished Pharos. I for the most part finished Pharos. Didn't entirely get everything done as far as side missions, but I completed that planet, so I'm basically moving on in the progression of that story. Tuesday with the finally release of X Defiant, the multiplayer FPS game. I'll most likely be on Twitch Tuesday evening for the multiplayer game because I need Gigawatt. If you're still in the chat, if you want to play it, you can join in. I'll most likely be playing with Calman because he's going to be playing that game as well when it drops. But I'll be starting my stream about 8:30 p.m. Eastern, thereabouts. Tuesday. Wednesday will be the second of the ones and twos, talking Blade 2, Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. on my channel. And then on Orange Chat's channel, talking Demolition Man for the singles, the second singles of May. And then because there's an extra Wednesday, no worries if you can't Gigawatts. Like I said, if you're more than welcome to join. Since there's an extra Wednesday in this month, I'm going to try to figure out what to do. If I'm going to do like one of those retrospective streams talking about a movie that I grew up with, or do a gaming stream. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Saturday will be a watch party of the King of the Ring wrestling event. I don't know when I'm going to start that because that all depends on one, when it finishes, because I think it starts at 1 p.m. Eastern, which I'm not going to watch when it airs. And two, if I go, when I get back from my niece's 4th birthday party, because her birthday is this weekend, and her birthday party will be the Saturday.
Aww.
So, and she's 4, and the theme is Dino 4, because she likes dinosaurs, so it's Dino 4. So
cute.
Yes. And so, like I said, Saturday's up in the air, the start time for the watch party on my Discord. Thank you, Trey. Because it depends on those elements coming together. But thank you, chat. Yes. So cute. Thank you, JM. Dino 4. Yes, that's the theme.
Dino 4. That's so cute.
But anyway, so thank you. Have a good night, day, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And we will see you all next week on her channel. So take care and peace.
Bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.